Suppose you wanted to explore a new planet. What would be the best way than to just land on it? Except for this time, you wouldn't be landing because Jupiter, unlike most of the planets in the solar system, doesn't have a surface. Yep, you heard that right. This giant ball is just made of a stretch of atmosphere, and therefore, unlike here on Earth, there is no surface that would break your fall. Its atmosphere is basically just hydrogen and helium gases. So your attempt to land on it, or should we say into, would be like trying to land on a cloud here on Earth. But despite the lots of unexplained mysteries about it, what if you're still determined enough to try and explore it? Would you fall right through one end and come out of another? And what would it be like inside the giant ball? What would you see and feel while falling through it? First of all, chances of you making it to the planet are next to nil. Because approximately 300,000 kilometers from Jupiter, your standard suit would be struck by a very strong radiation that sits around the planet, and unfortunately, you just die. But let's go back a little. Let's imagine you come again, this time armed with a very special suit. A science fiction suit that will survive the fall. And now, you're ready for the most epic journey of your time. Once you start falling through Jupiter, you'll be descending at nearly 180,000 kilometers per hour. This is due to the stronger gravitational pull exerted by the planet, which is roughly 2.5 times stronger than that on Earth. Now, brace yourself because you're about to hit the denser atmospheres below with a big force. But that wouldn't stop you because you got the suit. As you reach 155 miles down, you'll still see the sun's rays, but it wouldn't heat you up because at that point, you're sailing through ammonia clouds and you'll experience temperatures of up to minus 238 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, if that's not adventurous enough, get ready for the most epic whirlpool of your life. This is where things start getting interesting. Jupiter's speedy rotation creates powerful clouds and winds which whip around the planet at more than 480 kilometers per hour. This rotation is so fast that a day on the planet only lasts 9.5 Earth hours. With such a high speed, you'll feel like you're right at the center of a huge, colorful tornado. But let's go a further 75 miles below the clouds. And congratulations, you're now the first person to reach the limits of human exploration into the gaseous planet. The Galileo probe, sent by NASA in 1995, reached this far, but only lasted 58 minutes before it was shattered by the extreme pressure. But don't be afraid, this is not gonna happen to you today. Down here, things start getting a little bit darker until it becomes pitch dark. You'll have to rely on your instruments to see the world around you. That is, if you still got any. Otherwise, the only source of light would be the occasional lightning storms flashing all around you. On reaching 450 miles below, pressure will be like 1,000 times more. On the other hand, temperature will start rising and at some point even feel normal. And had it not been for the immense pressure, you'd actually start feeling comfortable. Your best bet here will be, you guessed right, that spacesuit. Only if it was built like the deepest diving submarine on Earth. And if the suit came with a timer, it's stating that you've been falling for almost 12 hours now. And apparently, things are starting to feel kinda boring. So you probably wanna radio someone to come and pick you. But bad news, no one is coming for you, as no one's gonna hear you. You see, at these deep atmospheres of Jupiter, any radio waves get absorbed, which render communication with the outer world totally impossible. Well, I think you'll just have to keep falling. Temperature and pressure will keep rising as you go down. 2,600 miles below, and temperatures will be so high that they'll reach 6,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This is high enough to melt tungsten, the metal with the highest melting point on Earth. 14,000 miles further, and you've reached the innermost layer of the colorful planet. Well, save for the pressure, which is now a whopping 2 million times stronger than that on Earth. With high pressure comes high temperature, and temperatures here are now hotter than the sun's surface. This is so extreme that hydrogen molecules surrounding you are forced to turn into a relatively unfamiliar substance known as metallic hydrogen. The substance is a dense liquid that you won't be able to get away from. But if you miraculously manage to escape it, you'll fall for thousands of kilometers, and finally, you reach Jupiter's core. Let's hope a solid surface. Scientists predict it might be solid due to the immense temperature and pressure at this level. And if you happen to survive all that, you'll forever be stuck under all the atmospheric pressure that make up the planet. So trying to land on Jupiter might feel like an interesting adventure, but in all honesty, it's quite a bad idea. Unluckily, we might not live long enough to know what lies below those majestic clouds. Maybe the best thing to do is to just leave the beautiful mystery on its own and just study and admire it from far.